We're rolling.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Nerdbuzzed.
Nerdbuzzed doesn't condone the consumption of alcohol by any persons under the age of 21. Please drink responsibly.
Welcome to Nerdbuzzed, the podcast where we talk about all the nerdy stuff that we care about and drink a cool frosty brew while we're doing it.
Or cover yourself in it.
Yeah, that's one option.
Got him.
I'm not wasted, officer.
Clean up, Jeremiah.
Yeah. Off to a good start today. So this is episode 97, getting really close to episode 100. Episode 100, I think we're going to go live.
Live in stereo.
So get involved, nerds.
As a meme.
That sucked.
Get it? Anyone
Wow,
got
that's
that?
like the worst port. That's like a
Dude,
jack port.
I know, right?
I don't.
So,
All right.
On this episode, we got some Netflix stuff. We got a new Black Panther trailer. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Sony making Nintendo Switch games. So
That's kind of a little misleading.
that's how all of the articles are, and we'll get into that because it is totally misleading. But first, before we go too far into the show, we go over to Jay,
Who's wearing the beer?
who I didn't even
just
introduce,
looked at
did
me,
I?
I don't-
I didn't introduce you guys.
No, I
With
didn't.
me as
Whoa!
always,
Jeremiah Johnson.
and to my left, out of the intern cage.
Jack Hughes!
Nice.
Yeah, I'm getting my rock on.
All right.
Apparently. Okay, so now I digress no more, and we go over to Jay.
Today we are drinking Historic Brewing Company's Opposable IPA, and they are out of Flagstaff, Arizona. My dad was awesome enough in his road trip that he made to pick us up a couple
Just
of beers.
enough.
Yes, just enough.
Just enough.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. He made a stop in Flagstaff and picked these up for us. Talked to the people. Turns out it's a family that lives in the area, has had several restaurants in the business. The kids finally grew up enough to take over and decided to start brewing beer instead.
Awesome.
So they tore down one of the restaurants, remodeled it into a brewery, and here we go.
Awesome. Yeah, that was super cool. Thank you,
Yeah.
Rodger.
So like I said, this is the Opposable IPA, 6.8%. It is their flagship one. It's available year-round. We also got another one we're going to try, which is the Alternative Facts Double IPA, 10%.
That's pretty
Alternative facts. What was the first one?
Opposable.
Opposable. I couldn't read it on the can.
Like opposable thumbs?
Yeah. No, I get
And
it
he
now. I
spelled
was like,
it
that's not how you
Opposol.
yeah, well, look at it. Does that look like a See, right? I was trying to
It looks like he's
decipher the
been.
code.
It looks like he's been drinking some before he was typing this up.
As
Jesus.
usual,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I'll find all
as,
the.
as is the case with every caller I've ever gotten, they're writing on it while the can's still wet with... beer.
There you go. It's that fresh.
That authentic. I am drinking the Balls Cherry. Ha! Isn't that joke funny still? Third time's a charm.
How many balls did you bring today?
Not enough.
Better be 4.
3. Yeah. Counting these two. So I had the ginger and the root beer. There's this one, and there's one left. It's the original flavor. But this.
Oh, the blue balls.
Oh my god. Oh, it is. Yeah. Wow, isn't that funny? But I'm not
Nice.
looking
I like that
forward
we get to ride these jokes out at least one more episode.
I'm not looking forward to drinking this because the last few have been like, oh, so the root beer was disgusting. It was watered down.
The best part about it
Kept
is
calling it tea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's waiting for the last one for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those should have been the first one.
No.
The blue balls?
No, the blue balls...
Are they last? You end
Yeah.
with the blue balls forever. That's it.
Yeah.
You're stuck with them. I would be very leery of this because I don't like artificial cherry.
Oh, I hate
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's gonna taste like fizzy cough medicine.
Those weird. Don't even. Just let me.
Especially because this
experience
probably
it.
has the. This
all-
has got
it's
like the
clear,
guarana
too.
and everything in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so.
clear. That makes me a little less confident of.
They look like red Zima bottles.
I don't know what
do,
that
don't they?
sounds like a disease.
It's a good thing you
The
don't
Zima
know what
virus.
Zima is. Nobody should know what Zima is. Although I heard they're making a comeback.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll have to not drink some on the show.
Actually, that looks more like the Smirnoff one, not the Zima.
Yeah, because of the red.
Yeah.
It does. It smells like cough syrup.
I bet it's gonna taste like cough syrup. Ours is very amber, kind of golden amber. It has some floaties,
Yep. It's a little cloudy.
but it's not terrible.
It's definitely unfiltered.
Here's a good prank. Tell someone this is water. They'll
It's
hate
very
you forever.
it's very
It's very citrusy. Very citrusy in aroma.
a little bit like a little malty in there. Get some malty smell.
Quite a bit, quite
Do you
malty.
think yours is a little more fragrant because of all that head it's got?
Yes.
I was good. It's not
Jeremiah
super
getting
potent in its smell though.
No.
It's actually kind of subtle. I don't know. I
A
gotta
little
try
grassy.
it.
If you read there's like, I want to say 4 or 5 hops in the boil. Different types of hops in the boil. And then there's 3 hops they use for the dry hop. So
So it should be very hoppy.
yes.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Well, let's give it the real test.
yeah, to all the nerds.
Through all the fuzz,
Bottoms up.
let's get nerd buzzed. Clankety clankety.
Well, it's very malty. Very, very, very malty.
Nice. I'm glad I could smell that. Does
Tastes
yours-
like an Otter Pop.
Well, okay, but that is so ambiguous. What Otter Pop? Because some Otter Pops are awesome.
Okay. I didn't say it because you guys were doing your thing, but it smells a little bit like an Otter Pop too, almost like the green one. I don't know if there's a difference. I hate Otter Pops, but it's like an Otter Pop that your parents put cough syrup in because they're like, we gotta get our kid to
Note
drink
for
it.
parents out there: maybe put some cough syrup in your Otter Pops
So
to shut your kids up at
it's
night.
so disgusting. Who would drink this? Why is this being made?
You have a whole nother bottle.
The original or like the first taste it's all right, but then the aftertaste is like
So it's is it real or artificial cherry? I wonder.
probably artificial.
I would assume, and it's got guarana in it, which is the like energy drink
Satan
grossness.
milk.
Yeah, that's what's making it taste more like medicine, even. Because personally, I think Red Bull tastes like medicine.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like
Red
energy
Bull
drinks
tastes
in general.
awful.
They don't taste good. They taste like medicine to me.
Why am I doing this?
It is very caramely, but it still has that like hoppy kind of like the bitterness on the back of your tongue that
Yes.
lingers there.
It's got a lot of the hop, the hop oils, the hop bitterness. But that malt is really strong.
Yeah.
The sweet, though, it hits you really sweet and strong at the very, very first sip. But then that goes away right away.
It's got like it's got an interesting follow-up taste after that initial one that I can't quite put my finger on. I'll see if I can nail it as we go.
Yeah, I don't know. It's different. It's
interesting.
very unique.
Yeah. It's good. It's definitely more
It's
caramely.
almost earthy, like you were saying, but not like the other one was earthy.
Yeah. I've actually been having beer lately. I want to get one where the aftertaste in it it was from Georgetown, one of the ones I had at Pottoberfest.
Oh, nice.
And met a couple guys there. One was the Steam Donkey Brewery.
Yep.
And he's going to hook us up with some growlers. At least
Sweet.
seemed all over it. I sat there and I was like, well, I want to tell people that you're going to do that. What's like are you on Twitter? How do I do that? And he's like, no, people keep asking me. I'll set it up. So I sat there and hung out with him and drank his beer while he set up his Twitter. So me and my wife
Nice.
are his first 2 Twitter followers.
Nice.
Wait. You got a growler at Pottoberfest?
Yeah. See, you're totally conforming,
I don't want
Jack.
to be.
We're just ruining everything for you. But when the Pottoberfest was actually pretty cool. The coolest part about it was it cost us like $80 total, like $40 each, almost maybe like $70 or something. We went to go leave Pottoberfest. It was at the casino,
Okay.
by Ocean Shores down there, and so we went to leave, and my wife had $5 cash left, right?
Oh, nice.
And she's like, "Well, I gotta gamble it. We're at the casino." I was like, "Okay, sure, go for it." She $2 in on her $5, she won $90. And I said, cash out. And she spun one more time, lost like 2 more bucks. I was like, cash out. So she cashed out and totally covered all of Pottoberfest. It was awesome. So we totally
Nice.
lucked out. Sometimes you can win, but that's the trick. Quit. The instant
yeah.
you're ahead, you quit. Even if it's like $10, just get the hell out. Call it a victory.
Yeah.
I used to do that. I used to break even or come ahead almost every time I'd go in. And I went in, put $100 down, and lost it straight through.
Yeah.
And haven't been back since.
No.
It's like been close to 10 years.
Yeah. So our nerd play game. Oh wait, before we get going too much past our beer, I do want to mention one more thing about beer that I actually saw while watching Hulu. There was a commercial for it. It's called Take Craft Back. Have you heard about this? TakeCraftBack.com. It's absurd, but it was like on Hulu as a commercial. I went and looked at their website, and so what it is it's like a group of different craft brewers that are fed up with Budweiser.
That's a lot of money.
Buying all of the small microbrews and then ruining their beer, right? It's because I think the classic and most obvious for me is Elysian. We've really noticed it's just gone downhill.
Yeah,
It's
Elysian, and then that one that had that show, Golden Road, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So, and there's a bunch of other craft brewers that are supporting this cause, and they're all into it. But their goal is to crowdfund the purchase of Anheuser-Busch, and it's going to cost them $213 billion to purchase it. Right?
So is it all of Anheuser-Busch, or is it InBev, or just Anheuser-Busch?
I'm not sure. Like I wasn't able to totally dive into it. I just kind of browsed what they have here, but you can pledge whatever you want. It gives you a list of some other brewers that are doing it.
Wait, it's not on Patreon though?
I'm not sure what this is. It's just
weird.
their website.
I feel like they should just set up like a bunch of like a Patreon, a Kickstarter, a GoFundMe.
They have $2 million so far. This seems like such a lofty, ridiculous goal that I think more it's just the point to put the message out there. But I don't know what they're going to do with their $2 million. It's like $2.5 million.
Imagine the advertising they can buy though, and because demand is what gets shelf space.
Yeah.
And Anheuser-Busch is buying all these. So what it is Elysian and all these other companies were coming in and getting their.
Didn't start the timer. Bad kid.
The craft brews that were starting to take shelf space away from Anheuser-Busch. Well, Anheuser-Busch said, oh, okay, we'll go buy you. And then gets it all, which Anheuser-Busch is now, since they own them, has all of their products in the shelf space.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is they're just crowding out all the craft breweries.
So one they're crowding out craft beer. They're literally closing the door on these other craft beers that could be on the shelves.
Yes.
And the other thing they're doing is ruining the beers that they're buying.
They're buying, exactly.
Yeah, which is so obvious. The Space Dust to me is the clear as day example of that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I thought you liked that one.
I did. I used to.
Oh.
And it's changed so much.
It's changed a couple times now, so it's kind of sad. The gist of it here is they want the $213 billion. If every person in the U.S. donates $653.37, they'll have it. If everybody in the world donates $28.78, they'll have it. And they even go on to say that although we would never accept money from children and babies, those figures do include children and babies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought it was just an interesting thing that I just stumbled across to add to our beer section. It seems absurd. I don't think they will ever get $213 billion. But, power to them if this actually makes a difference at all.
Well, seriously, I think what they can do, like I said, they can get the advertising and get the demand for it. Because once they get the shelf space back, that's it starts selling, and I think it will.
Yeah.
So once the products that get out there and start selling, it'll keep the shelf space, and that'll just reduce Anheuser's presence. So.
Well, and I think the first part of the puzzle to solve a problem is commonly awareness, right? Yeah. So there's a lot of that going on there. We'll see. So you can go check them out if you want. I already forgot what it was called. Take Craft Back.
Yes, Take Craft Back.
Yeah. So go check .com. Go check it out if you want to donate some money.
Get some Kraft mac and
yeah.
I tried.
And failed.
Yep. Right.
So
Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. So the Nerd Play this month, which we're still baffled we get it for free.
Yes.
Is Metal Gear Solid 5. I've definitely done a lot of dabbling. I've had this really a big dilemma in my video game world because I have South Park.
Oh my god.
And
Such
I have
a dilemma.
Right? And I have Shadow of War, and I have Metal Gear Solid now, which I'm as excited to play more Metal Gear Solid as I am to play South Park and Shadow of War.
I gotta say, I've been watching my roommate play Shadow of War.
Yeah.
I had no idea that's what the style of game was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is freaking amazing looking.
Assassin's Creed mixed with Arkham games.
It looked so much more. I just saw it and was watching it and going, that's Batman.
It's totally it's the same. It's WB Games, right? It's like the same company.
Yeah.
So it's totally that same engine, I'm sure. But it's brutal. Like it's so
Oh,
cool
it
how
is.
brutal
It's
you can
brutal.
take
I'm
out
sorry.
the orcs.
That one orc, that first orc captain that you beat,
Yeah.
he is hilarious.
Is
I
it
don't
always
remember
the same guy?
I don't know if it's always the same one. It might be different.
Oh, Oh, yeah.
They're like procedurally generated enemies, I'm pretty sure.
Anyway,
Oh,
so
is it the big one?
the big one you finally
Right,
take him over?
Dark Lord, yeah.
And he's like, nah, good, bad, it's all the same to me. She's only ripping out spines. This is all I care about.
Yeah. And there's so many that are like that. And eventually you take them over, and then you use them to build your own army to take over new fortresses.
Yeah, which is what he's finally doing.
Yeah, I just got to that part.
And
also
then you
myself.
defend your fortresses
Yeah,
like
you have to
50
defend yours.
times.
Yeah.
And
he-
that's
he-
when you get the true ending.
He finally learned the damn counter button. I'm like, counter, 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 and he's not.
And there's you have so much time to counter. Like
know,
the
and
triangle
he
comes up forever.
Yeah, for him it's a Y because it's Xbox, but yeah, he it keeps coming up. I'm like, I'm like, press it, and he's like, just still off over here splashing this other guy, and I'm just like, "Argh!"
Yeah.
He finally got it down, and he's mastered it to the point where he gets the instant kill now.
Oh, nice.
So he's like, "Gah, yeah.
Yeah, that's
oh,
always
yeah.
really cool.
It's a super cool game. I totally recommend it. I think very much like.
And he's doing that chain thing a lot.
Oh yeah,
So like
yeah.
shoot the bow to teleport, and then teleport, instant kill, chain, just chaining these instant kills,
Yeah.
just going through this hole.
Yeah, I think I can do 3 instant kills in a row, something like that.
Oh no,
3 or 4.
he's chaining them like crazy.
Yeah, I have to. I
Because
have
you
to
can
have my
probably
stat.
upgrade it or
Yeah,
whatever.
there's different upgrades. I would say very much like the South Park game because they're sequels, right?
It's
And
like,
so, well,
no.
Shadow of War is a sequel to, I thought, what I would say is a super groundbreaking first wave game for PlayStation. It really was, and just groundbreaking in general with the Nemesis system and all that.
Yeah.
And South Park was that way also, where it's like an existing product that was then turned into a video game and done so well, and such a tribute to all of us that love classic RPG stuff, right? And they both feel a lot like their predecessor, but have these new elements that are polished to them. But I will say there's a little bit of like lackluster attitude about it because I've already played the first ones, and so there's less to be like blown away by. Does that make sense? It's like
yeah.
I've already experienced it once, and it's kind of a rehash of what they did with extra polishes added to it.
Well, this is
But
my
there's still
first-
loads of fun.
This is my first experience with the Shadow of Mordor, whatever it is, because I didn't play
Yeah.
Shadow of Mordor at all.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah. Well, I think I would just stick with this one then. Like, there's really no point to go back and play the other one. It's a tease of what this game is, right? But South Park, I would say it's totally worth to play them both. And the first game does come free with it. It's not a download code or anything that comes on the receipt when you buy it. It's just an actual card in the game. So I think as long as you get the Stick of Truth for free if you buy, which is awesome. Like, when have you ever gotten a game 100% free like that?
Call of Duty. I didn't get that. But no, that's actually really cool.
It's super cool, and it's the PS3 version or PS4 version. You don't have to play it on
Yeah.
your PS3.
Yeah.
And it's a card in the game. So I think as long as you go buy until they like reprint and release them, you'll probably
Like a new
everybody's going to
edition?
get it.
Yeah.
So as long as you get the first edition.
Well, what
everybody
about
gets it.
digitally? Do you know if it's available there? Like the
I-
day
well,
one digital.
yeah, if you bought it digitally months ago, you got the code for the first one instantly. So you could have already beaten the first one, but I
Yeah.
wanted the disc, so
Yeah.
that's why I waited. And I've already beat the first one twice. But they're really, really good. Totally recommend them. I'll beat them and eventually slap some scores on them and dive into it deeper.
Nice.
And Metal Gear Solid 5 is great.
Metal
Love
Gear
Metal Gear Solid
Solid.
5.
That's what I mean. It's like I'm struggling between all three because I so bad want to play each one.
So we've already established that he doesn't like D-Horse.
Oh my god,
So
D-Horse sucks.
the D is appropriate.
So the first time, I'm really bad at the game, or I'm not really. I'm pretty bad. Like I'm struggling to learn what I'm learning now, and I first figured out that mortars were a thing. I'm like, oh cool, and I'm like, I wonder. And so D-Horse is standing next to me, and I'm like, well, I hate D-Horse, so I turn it and I launch it at D-Horse, and I run away, and he like falls over, and he's all like charred. I'm like, oh, did I just kill D-Horse? And he gets back up. I'm like, you should have died a long time ago. No, and when you take Kazuhira or Miller out, right? And right before he's like, why are we still fighting? That was so dumb. Right before he does that speech and you find like, the fog people, I like put him on the horse and then I'm running towards D-Horse and then D-Horse was just running away while the fog people were like jumping and I'm like, D-Horse! Sorry, I don't know how loud that was. Oh my God.
The worst, one of my biggest complaints is eventually you'll get D-Dog.
Yeah.
And you'll be like trying to snipe somebody, and all of a sudden
D-Dog will walk right
he'll
in.
like walk and just like sit with his little tongue, like, and that's what you'll see in your scope. You're like, really, D-Dog, come on.
Okay. D-Dog is the best companion though.
Oh, it's the total cheater companion.
Love him.
Yeah.
Oh, I like using the binoculars though, but I hate it when a guy sneaks up on you and is like, "Oh, I didn't see you," and then you get alerted.
Well, see, that's where D-Dog's great, because
Yeah.
D-Dog is just like, "Ruff, bink,
Yeah, he finds everybody for
I
you.
think I'm about to get quiet, but what was happening the other day? Oh, so in one of the missions where you have to like take out a tank command or like 3 tanks. It's one of the earlier missions. I don't even think I'm at mission 10 yet because I'm struggling, and I'm trying to do most of the side ops except for the dumb shooting range ones. Those ones are impossible. But there was a guy in a tower and 2 guys down here, and I had the like the first rifle you get or the machine gun you get, and I had the suppressor on, and I like one of them saw me, so I like popped him in the head, popped the next guy in the head, and popped the guy up top in the head, and just when I did the suppressor broke, but I like didn't shoot any after that, so I didn't alert anyone for like the first part of the mission.
nice."
That's that, and I love how there's all those moments like that where it's like really tense when you're in slow motion. You're like, hit him in the head with the sleep pistol,
Yeah.
and you miss. And you're like, oh god, and then and then it just goes downhill from there.
It's an amazing game. It's really, really good.
It's hard. It has a lot of. You have to work really hard, and you have to be able to try different things. You can't
See,
just.
You talk about the beginning with the what were those guys? The
Fog dudes.
The
Skulls.
skulls.
Yeah.
So like the easiest way to get past them is you run halfway down the right side there between the bridge, and wait, and they'll like start walking off the side. And once they walk
Oh.
off the side, you got him on your back. You get the spare magazines out because they're unlimited,
Yeah.
and you walk up, and they won't go to it, but they'll look at it as soon as it clicks.
Yeah.
So you just start as you walk past, just keep looking at it. Once you get past a little bit, just run with him, get past, and whistle for your horse while you're running. Horse will come, triangle, load him up, and take off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
D-horse. Oh, dumb horse.
I like D-horse.
But it's you're wrong. I can't wait for D-Walker.
Dude, I got the.
Oh yeah, the robot thing is
I'm
kind of
really excited for D-Walker because I know I'm just gonna. Just kill
I
everyone.
don't like it. I didn't like the robot walker thing.
It's definitely a more of like the assault offensive
Yeah,
thing
that's
to
the
get
way.
for sure. Yeah.
And I've got the Hellcorn though livery for my horse.
Is that the? Oh, so the game opens and I played a little bit of it with Marcus. I'm like, it's uninteresting. I'm like, I mean, the coolest part is the guy that's on fire. I'm like, well, I mean, that's all right. And they have the weird Psycho Mantis as a little kid. It's probably Psycho. Don't spoil it. It's probably Psycho Mantis. I don't really care. But then, just weird stuff starts happening, and I'm like,
That's Metal Gear though.
I am so confused. Yeah. Metal Gear
That's Metal
Solid
Gear.
4 was like more tame than the beginning of this game. So play it and you're just going to be like, what's happening?
Yeah. But anyway, we're gonna keep playing it for the month.
Yeah.
So download it. It's free, people, and play the crap out of it. It's so worth it.
Yeah.
So, as always, we have to interrupt the show for a minute.
What?
And shrink the screen because I'm sure we're in maximum screen glory. Shrink it down. Hit subscribe. Totally helps us out. We need 100 subscribers to get our own channel. We really want our own channel. We will all sleep better at night. Please make us smile and happy. You can also go to patreon.com/nerdbuzzed.com or patreon.com/nerdbuzz. It's on the bottom of the screen there.
Nerdbuzz.patreon.com.
Yeah. And for $35, you can get a swag bag, which includes a t-shirt. We're wearing some t-shirts here.
I'm not.
Well,
It's
you're
not-
wearing
green.
a t-shirt, but not a Nerdbuzz
Yeah.
t-shirt. And you get some stickers and a magnet. Pretty sweet deal. And also you can go to our website, nerdbuzz.com, where you can watch any episode or listen to them 100% free, as opposed to,
Any other percentage of free.
that's right, with a
Nice.
full beer list and root beer list.
The
Are we working on the root beer list still?
Balls list.
root beer lists are just with the.
You're going to put it like below our
We're gonna figure out what we're gonna call
list.
it.
We'll have to do something under
it's
on
not-
our beer list. We'll have to do something under there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Or if you do like a-
brew
what if you did
list.
like
Let's
a
just put brew list.
A side by
Maybe we
side.
should change it to that.
Yeah, but I'm just like I've got like a on our episodes it's the beer or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then it's Jack's Brew underneath.
But we had people bitch and complain that they had to go through our episode list to see all of our beers. They're
know.
going to do that about the root beer because people like to bitch and complain. And we listen because, we're cool
Yeah.
like that. So we'll add that in there at some point on our beer list.
So what do you do about Jack's Dad's Brew?
Jack's dad's brew?
Just
What do
like
you mean,
a
his?
just
No,
make a
that's just
separate
put bad
link
idea.
for
Don't
that.
do that. Yeah.
It's a separate link.
Results in D-pants.
Yeah, no, that when he did that, that was
is
like
that a thing in Metal Gear Solid? Yeah. D-pants. It's like special pants.
when he sat down here and just had that glass full of it, and he made that joke where it's like, "What is that? Just straight vodka?" When somebody's like drinking water or something. Yeah. Nope, that's what it was. It was just straight whiskey. Yeah, that was great. I love that episode. It's one of my favorites. So anyway, into some nerdy news, right? Let's talk Netflix for a minute. So Netflix, I thought this was pretty cool. Netflix is planning on producing 30 new original animes for 2018.
Wow.
Nice.
Super awesome. That's a lot of them. That's more than we need for every month of the year.
But
So
how many
2 years'
Netflix
worth.
animes are actually good? Because it seems like none of them are. The new Jaden Smith one.
I don't know. The Knights of Sidonia, the first series, was freaking awesome.
Yeah. But I heard Seven Deadly Sins, I heard that one wasn't that good.
I actually kind of like the first one. It's
the
very
first one-
Saturday morning card.
Yeah.
Eat a bowl of cereal while you watch it, and it'll be better. It's one of those. Wake up in the morning on a Saturday,
it's just the
eat a bowl of
same.
cereal. It's not. Try it. Have you tried it?
I always... Well,
Shut up until you try it. Have you tried it?
Alright, no.
This beer is getting a little more alcohol-y.
A little bit.
Tasting. Did you
It's-
notice that too?
It's getting a stronger flavor, and it tastes like just straight plant matter.
Kind
That's
of. Yeah, it's
disgusting.
interesting. It's not horrible, but
No.
it's starting to taste more like alcohol, though, I'm noticing.
Yeah, a little bit. Not too bad.
I've been sensitive to that lately.
Just put some...
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Too sensitive. I'm
plant
just
matter,
such
just
a
like
sensitive
throw
guy.
some grass and some hand sanitizer. So you're making it sound like...
Stir it up a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Clearly.
straight grass, though, is like wheatgrass is not a far-off cry there.
Yeah, it's still interesting. It's still not bad. We're drinking it fast enough to where it's gonna be.
This
tolerable
burns my
stuff.
throat.
Yeah, because it's gross. Are you already on the second one?
Yep.
You're still taking it to Pound Town though. It's a one-way ticket. So, on a little side note on animes, I had to throw this in there. It has nothing to do with Netflix, but I'm really excited about it. There's a Ninja Batman anime that's coming out in 2018, and the characters are designed and modeled by the guy who did Afro Samurai,
Okay.
which is one of my super favorite
I love Afro
animes.
Samurai.
Is that even an anime?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, even though it's totally American, I'm pretty sure it's totally an American
It's close
thing.
enough.
Okay.
Whatever.
He designed the characters...
It's more anime than Futurama.
For that game... you guys ever play Theory, that boss rush game? Where it's like the whole time you're fighting bosses?
Yeah.
He designed the characters for that, too.
It was
Yeah.
clear that he did.
Yeah.
I love... That was a really good game.
I really enjoyed it too.
That was
that game was
that was a
brutal.
game that I went through the first time I sat down and played it. I just kicked ass, ran right through it, and then didn't save. Like I shut the system off before I didn't save, and then went back, and I couldn't get back to my spot where I was before.
Yeah. That game is unforgiving.
Yeah, it's so good, though.
It was fun.
The final boss, if you go to like...
I didn't make
make
it
it.
that far.
Oh. you can choose not to fight it. You should choose not to, because it sucks.
Yeah. Also, some Netflix news. Mob Psycho 100 is going to be made into a live action series.
Serious?
Super stoked actually that it's a series and not a movie. That's a big complaint I have about anime movies is I've always said, I even talked with Dan from Docking Bay. We talked about anime stuff a little bit over the weekend. And we agree that it's tough to make an anime into a movie because, again, sometimes it takes like 3 episodes. The 3 episode rule, right?
Exactly.
You have to get over hating the characters before you love them, and it's hard to do that in a movie.
Which I finally
Would've been
did
better
with the
for-
Psychopaths.
Death Note.
Oh, yeah. I actually kind of like Psychopaths. We'll get to that.
I say it took me a little. Oh, well, yeah, we'll get to it.
I haven't started watching it. I'll probably do that like this weekend or yeah.
Oh, this one was
Yeah,
5 episodes.
binge it. You got to
Yeah.
crak out.
Oh, yeah,
I think
I'm
it's,
gonna.
I think it's Hulu.
21.
Do you have Hulu? Can you watch it on Netflix? We'll figure it out.
I have,
Crunchyroll,
like-
maybe?
No, I have
You have some sort of illegal... Should you say it?
No, it's not illegal. You just go to like kissanime.com.
Kiss Anime?
Yeah, that's what it's called. Like there's Kiss cartoons too. It's like that. It's like 123movies.com. You know, those places where you just like watch it. It's like a
Not a
little
sponsor.
lower quality, but it's fine.
Yeah. So we watched Mob Psycho as one of our animes on the show for the month, and it just happens to be the October from last year.
Whoa.
Nice.
And so, nice little coincidence there. And I gave it a 7.5. You didn't like it quite as much. Gave it a 6.5. I actually really enjoyed it. It's one of the more
I'm liking My Hero way better than Mob Psycho.
yes. Well, I think okay. Let's not let's not even talk about any other anime when comparing it to Mob Psycho. My Hero, because I think that's my favorite.
I don't
It's
think
so
I don't-
rapidly approaching my favorite anime.
I don't think it's my favorite, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah. But Mob Psycho was good because it's more of that. It's got some cool actiony stuff in it. It's a little more simplistic drawing style, but it's one of the ones that I really actually like that has more like slapsticky stuff in it, which I don't necessarily care for in an anime. But I thought this did it really well. It's balanced pretty well,
Yeah,
and it's different. It's not like other animes I've really seen.
Like Dragon Ball Z balanced.
No, it's different than that. It's kind of hard to explain. It's not really an action anime. It's not really like a drama anime or a comedy. It's kind of this nice sort of balance of everything, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's different.
I don't know how to put that.
I don't know how to put it either. It's hard to describe. It's done by the same guy who did One Punch Man.
Yeah,
like
but
that.
Yeah,
the
totally different.
the instructor or teacher dude.
Yeah. What's his name? I have it. Arataka.
Yeah.
He so coming up on some cool stuff.
Okay.
Uh,
I was
Whoa!
gonna say he was the one reason why I think I knocked it down a little bit.
I loved him. He was my
didn't-
favorite.
I didn't like him until the end.
Yeah.
That last episode with him where he actually like goes to save his student
Yeah.
was like the one where I finally was like, okay, he's kind of cool. But
I really liked him in it. I thought he was hilarious. So Netflix is gonna co-produce the series with TV Tokyo. It's gonna debut January 2018, so not that far away. And there's no word yet. I scoured the internet for it. There's no confirmation that it's going to get an international release, so it might only be Japan.
Wait, didn't you say it's on Netflix? I thought everything
is
on
gonna
Netflix is everywhere.
Apparently, TV Tokyo and Netflix have made like 4 shows together now. This will be maybe the 4th one, and I want to say 1 or 2 of those have been released on the U.S. Netflix.
so weird.
So yeah, I also kind of agree that it's weird. It's not just this bank that we all get
Because it's
access
the
to.
internet. Like you don't
Right?
need to.
And it's digital,
It's
right?
like, who
I
does
hate
that?
it when
Is that
people put so much
Square-
value on
Is
digital
that
crap.
Square Enix that does the region locking, or is that that's Nintendo, right? It's like region locking, but you don't need to because you're not doing physical copies.
Yeah,
You can just
it's just
stream
all
it.
digital.
Yeah.
I don't get it either.
the original PlayStation did that.
Oh yeah, well
Dumb
I think
stuff like that. Oh, because it's
Yeah, because that was
Yeah.
a big thing about getting.
and PlayStation 2 also did that.
Yeah.
it's weird.
So, but coming to that, Arataka, I'm totally messing up his name.
Anyway.
But anyway, his like apprentice owner guy of the spirits and such consultation office.
Yes.
They are going to release an OVA for the series that focuses on him. I'm actually pretty stoked for it.
What's
Oh my
that?
god.
It's like I forget what OVA technically actually stands for.
Original video something.
Yeah,
Is it
it's
those,
like
like-
a movie. It's like a little
direct-to-video.
It's like a mini series kind of thing, right?
Oh. Wait, what? I'm
Yeah.
thinking of like those videos. I don't know if you guys ever saw those in like the early 2000s, where it'd be like edgy music videos with Naruto clips. What are those
No, this
called?
is actually like with it. It's like a total story.
It's actually like a miniseries. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an arc within the story.
What is
Yeah, yeah.
that called? I'm thinking of something else.
So it's going to focus on that guy. I'm actually stoked for it. And the other Netflix news that we're all stoked for, admit it.
Yes.
You can jump on this bandwagon. Punisher, we got a release date, and it's not that far away.
November
November
17th.
Let's do this
17th.
for my birthday.
Same day
It's for
as
me.
Justice League premieres.
Oh,
And it was
wait,
revealed in a new trailer.
Good idea.
Well, guess
Watch Justice League and drink your problems away while watching Punisher.
Yeah, well, and then probably you could also watch Punisher and go, man, I
gonna
don't
say-
even kind of have problems.
I'm
compared to
gonna
this
go
guy.
watch Punisher and drink my problems away while watching Punisher, so that
No,
I'm
Justice League.
I'm well lubricated for Justice League.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not going to see that.
All
sober.
drive.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you.
you're driving.
Yeah.
That's why
Thank
we
you, by
have
the
you,
way.
intern.
That's
I
gonna
paid
be,
we're
you.
gonna go
I
see
paid you
both.
already.
that's gonna be a rough day. What? I'm not getting money.
So
No, it wasn't money.
I think what it's all boiling down to is that November is going to be awesome, right? Like November has so much
Birthday,
crap happening in
birthday.
November.
Yeah, I know.
It's Jack's birthday. We
I'm
so
probably
care
gonna
about
get
that.
Wolfenstein the
Yeah,
first
mine
couple days
too.
of November because of Amazon. I don't have Prime.
What?
Why don't you, I'll hook a brother up.
No.
Let me know next time.
Well, I think my dad's girlfriend does. I'll just scum it off her.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, what else happens then?
We get Justice League,
Oh, and Thor.
right? We get Thor. We get
Awesome.
the DLC for Horizon.
Oh, that's right.
Right?
I need to,
Like,
I need to re-download
November's crazy. Like, there's
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff that happens in November. I'm super
Happy
super
birthday to
stoked
me.
for it. And we get Punisher. Awesome.
that. Yeah. Finally, I've been
What do
waiting
you guys
for
think of
a
the new
good
trailer?
Netflix show.
The new
I didn't watch it.
trailer
I didn't even know it was-
looks amazing.
Yeah.
Everything I wanted a Punisher movie to be is in this trailer.
And
So
he still looks so just ruthless and brutal.
Oh yeah.
is it going to be like kind of how like Arrow is?
I
where
don't
it's
like it.
half origin, half current?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The
I
only
mean,
thing.
because I'm down for that. I'd like to see him as a soldier.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah. And
Oh
it
no, it
looks
has
like
that.
it has that.
Has that. Has his family dying. Has all that stuff.
Nice.
And then it has him current day with the big skull shirt and just blowing people away.
Yeah.
Looks freaking awesome. And my only complaint that I've seen from the trailer is I don't like that skull shirt.
I don't like it either.
What about it?
The skull's just way too prominent.
It is. Well, it's like on a bulletproof
Yeah.
vest that he's wearing. And then
awesome.
but
But
then
the
the skull's
skull-
like up here
The skull.
Oh.
and takes up the whole thing.
Yeah, the skull makes up the bulletproof plates.
Yeah, it'd be better if
So
it was
look
just
it
kind
up.
of the logo and then like longer in the front with the
Yeah.
teeth, right?
Yep.
More classic Punisher.
Yes.
But that's fine. And maybe it is actually the regular Punisher size because the dude who plays the Punisher is teeny. So maybe if you had Dolph Lundgren put it on, or Hasselhoff, wasn't Hasselhoff Punisher or something at some point?
Hasselhoff?
Maybe not.
No, it was Thomas Jane.
Is that who it was? Okay, and Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren and Thomas Jane.
Is
If they wore it, it'd be regular
is
size.
this it?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
That is.
I don't like that, but other than that, I love it. The tone, the way it's shot, it looks amazing. And the Punisher was my favorite thing from Daredevil season 2.
I didn't really think about
Yeah.
the tone of it, but I'm actually really curious to see what that will be because with the other Netflix Marvel shows, they're so distinctive in their tone. Like Daredevil's so red and just like morally.
Well, everything they show other than the flashbacks is just dark.
Yeah, I think
Maybe
that'll be
his
super
will just be
dark.
black.
Oh, but then I'll make the skull stand out more. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm really excited for it. I hope it's not. I hope they don't like revert and go back to too much origin with it. We'll have to see
I don't know.
because they got a lot of that
Well, the
stuff
origin
out
is
of the
probably
way.
going to be a lot like the trial time was in Daredevil with him.
Yeah. Which
And that was done really well.
I totally agree.
Wait, you mean
it's the
with like stick or whatever?
No, when
Trial time.
so when
Oh, just his actual. Sorry, I totally.
Yeah, when he went
forgot
to
that it was-
trial.
Yeah.
why am I drawing a blank on his freaking name all of a sudden?
Castle?
Frank Castle.
yeah.
When he was going in trial.
Oh, I thought you meant like
stuff.
with Daredevil. Yeah.
I mean that was when it was more brightly lit. There was a lot more, it wasn't just this dark brooding.
Yeah.
Everybody's dying.
It wasn't on a
But he's
rooftop.
still all like
Yeah,
beat up
exactly.
and just like
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
I'm
he was
guilty. I don't say sorry to anybody.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally got
That was
that
awesome.
attitude. Yeah. He's pretty good. So speaking of trailers, we got another new trailer that we've all watched,
Yes.
and that was Black Panther. And I have right here thoughts.
I think it looks a little cheesy.
It looks
Yeah.
all right.
think
I
it
mean,
looks actually pretty cheesy. It looks pretty good. I'm not gonna mind watching it, but it looks kind of cheesy.
It's a origin movie. Is
Yeah.
what it is. I'm a little bit bummed about it. I have really similar concerns about the Panther movie that I do about the Punisher series. And that is that they were already both addressed and we kind of got the basics that we really should kind of care about their character in Civil War, but then also in Daredevil season 2, right?
Yeah. So
For
are
these
you
characters, so
saying that
well,
Marvel's going DC with this?
no, I don't think so because I don't think it's going to be 20 million origins in one movie. So, which is not what I want at all, right? It's like the total opposite of what I want. But I think that this is going to be way more focused on Black Panther, which it should be. It's his title movie. But it's going to be very much his origin and what makes him like I think in Civil War was him like dealing with being Black Panther, and then in this he's gonna make that deciding factor. That
well,
he
I
is
think
Black Panther.
he's gonna. It's not like
Well,
he's
I would
like
say
learns to
in
put on
Civil
the
War
suit.
was more. He was. I am Black Panther,
Yeah.
and I am going to deal this retribution to.
I don't know if I'd call it an origin movie because
But his dad was still alive in Civil War. Like his dad dies, which is what motivates
Yeah.
him to be Black Panther. So I think that he's gonna definitively be Black Panther now in this movie.
But he has like the suit on like the whole time, so it's not like he's like like I need to get the suit. I need to make a suit. In the end, it's gonna be him putting the suit on. It's like no, he has it the whole time. He's totally Black Panther.
No, I mean more like almost like Doctor Strange, kind of like where it's more like it's going to be this more internal struggle for him to whether or not, or like Daredevil almost.
But that
where
was
like
like
he's
when he
gonna
was
be
training. right? I think it's gonna be I'd almost compare it to like a second movie because he's already established, right? He's already a thing, and he's gonna be fighting a threat that he's like more prepared for than the first time he fought something.
I'm not so sure.
I don't know. He seemed very already the Black Panther and already well established as that.
Yeah.
Well, I think here though, like as far as being on like
in this movie,
westernized Black Panther, right? Like he has to go back to Wakanda and establish himself as the definitive Black Panther there.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be what the movie's
which
about.
is what they set up in there with the multiple black. There's what 3 Panther suits.
Yeah, well, I think one of them's probably the old one, one's his new one or whatever, and then there's the new guy who comes in, fights him, which I kind of have an issue with in origin movies or solo superhero movies. Like,
so how is he going to lose his powers? That's the
Iron Man,
or his suit, right? Because he doesn't really have any powers.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
it's like Iron Man. He fights.
He fights a big robot.
Ant-Man fights an evil version of himself.
Totally,
okay.
right?
What I just realized that's kind of dumb is that it has Wakanda, right? A really interesting place, unlike anything we've ever seen in the MCU. But like half the trailer
I've never
is
actually
shot,
seen Wakanda.
Boom. Exactly. But half the trailer's in like New York or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The movie looks good, but it doesn't look like something that's going to stand out. It just kind of looks like, whoa, a movie, right? Like I don't think it's going to be pushing new grounds for Marvel.
No, I don't know that it necessarily will be either. I think that some of these are kind of filler movies,
which is dumb.
You know, it's like just to get another to keep us all on the edge of our seat.
I think Thor is done that way as a filler movie to keep us on the edge of our seat, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think Thor is an outlet for Marvel to make another Hulk movie. I really think that when we go see Thor, we're going to come away from that movie going, this was so much Hulk and like so much of that part of it that it's their way of getting around not having the rights to make a Hulk movie. I bet we're going to come away thinking that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Universal?
I'm fine with that.
I can't remember who... Paramount? Universal's? I can't remember who it is, but Marvel doesn't own the rights to a solo movie. So this is totally their way around it, which I'm also okay with because again, I don't want a solo Hulk movie. So, and I don't know that I really need another Thor solo movie. So to have them both balance, it might be the perfect way to balance
I did
out
like
the
the
movie.
last Thor movie though. So
yeah,
I think they're both okay.
That's what I'm afraid of Black Panther. Is it just going to be like, oh look, a scary bad guy, ooh, generic, and oh no, Wakanda's destroyed. They have to go to New York. Like that's what happened in that's what happened in the last Thor. Asgard was destroyed because there was Odin sleep, and then they had to fight like New York or something.
Let's review
and if it wasn't New York, it looked exactly like New York, and that's always it. It's like the main interesting place gets destroyed where they should be spending the entire movie because that's like.
But
cool.
I think so how do you know they're not going to be there the whole time? How do you know they don't go back?
I can predict it.
Yeah.
At the very end of the movie when they all get together and suddenly it's like, oh, it's fine.
We'll catch a bus.
Man, it would have been, oh, look at this cool thing. It would have been cool to have a fight on that.
I think it's going to deal with him establishing himself as the Black Panther in Wakanda, not New York, right? Because that's the rest of the world already sees him as that. Wakanda, there's this like internal struggle that he's ignored while taking revenge for his dad. Right, and like I'm sure that's what's going to come up. He's going to deal with all that personal crap.
But something's going to happen, and he's going to end up in New York. I know.
Well,
that.
Of course it is, but because there's nothing to do in Wakanda.
Leaving.
Like Wakanda's like one of the ports to the world, right? So it's like you've got to branch out from.
It's like the most high tech country in the MCU. It's like it's crazy. They should spend the whole movie there, and they always go. But it's like New York should just get nuked. It should just be like.
Do you think there will be a cameo from any other hero? Maybe that will give a reason to be in New York. Will it be Iron Man? Iron Man will be in it for 2 seconds on the phone, like on his his little holographic phone on his suit.
Stanley's like, wait, this movie needs to go to New York, and then suddenly they're just there.
Yeah,
like he doesn't even care. There's no transition. He's just fighting the bad guy in New York.
I did think after watching the trailer, I got a very strong Luke Cage feeling coming away from it. It's very. When we had our Luke Cage episode, we just summed it up by saying it's very black.
There's no way really to put it. Yeah,
there was no way around it. That's just what that show. I love it. It's great because it is that, and it's so definitively that. I really got that feeling from this when it started, like with the same like.
I don't think this is quite as heavy.
Hip hop like rap song theme song.
Yeah,
like it's so
really
different.
Fit. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think this is quite that level, but this is definitely has that tone, which is it should.
Yeah. No, I think it's great. I totally into it. I'm curious to see how much of that Luke Cage series will influence it
Yeah.
when we go to watch it. I'm totally gonna see it. I think it looks good.
The more I'm thinking about it, the less hyped I am for it, just because it seems like it's just going to be another movie they're going to pump out. They're not going to try and do anything new or groundbreaking with it.
Yeah. My only real complaint with that I had was the suit thing. Looks.
That looks dope.
See, and
Yeah,
it's the Iron Man suit again.
There you go. See, Iron Man comes in. Who knows?
I don't think they needed to do it that way. You know, I mean,
Love to see. I love that we all disagree and we
Yeah.
all have apprehensions
things.
about movie for different
Finally.
reasons. It's great. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
putting the claws.
So-
we can all agree though, putting the claws into that wheel and ripping the wheel out was freaking awesome.
Oh, there's all sorts of cool action and stuff in it. Yeah. And why the hell can't? Okay, we need to review our beer, but why can't DC? Why can't DC do the green screen like Marvel? I don't get it. Why does it have to look so crappy?
Yeah. Okay. Marvel does have its moments. There are scenes in them that was like, this one is cheap, but it's one that doesn't really need to look great.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious about it all. We'll see.
We'll see.
So let's talk about our beer because
Yes.
I want to drink the next one.
So do I.
What did you think of the first one?
I thought for as much as it was hyped in their website, as much as they talked about how many different hops were in there and what was going on, it was a little understated for that. I thought it was actually fairly well balanced though, overall. The bitter to the malt to the aftertaste, everything was pretty good. I don't have this just gross aftertaste lingering on my tongue.
No.
It's a pretty clean beer. It's pretty easy to drink. It really is. It's just not as quite as clean as I would like. Overall.
I would say the basic thing I would say about it is it's underwhelming. I thought that originally when we opened it, the aromas were a little underwhelming. Like it wasn't super powerful when you went to smell it. None of the flavors were super powerful when we went to drink it. It was just kind of, which maybe is a testament to it being balanced.
It is
also,
balanced.
right?
It is very
which
balanced,
is
and
which
it's
is
pretty-
awesome. I don't have anything really negative to say about it, but I also don't have anything like super positive to
Yeah,
say about it.
that's a good way
You
of
know?
putting it. And like I said, 55 IBUs. That's on the low side for today's IPAs.
Yeah.
The 6.8% is right where most of today's regular IPAs are sitting, so that's good. It's a little on the high side for a standard IPA, but you know,
Yeah. And it did get a little bit alcohol-y tasty.
I didn't get that too much. I
got a
really
little
didn't.
bit.
Yeah, a little bit, not bad. It's not like you're making it out to be.
Yeah. you
No, it's not like
whiner.
it's not like a space dust. That's for
No.
sure. Not like that.
No, but it's not bad. Do you want to score it?
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
put a
of
score on it. I'm gonna give it
I'm gonna go 6.75.
so almost good. That's I'm glad that you're in that wheelhouse because I'm struggling between 6 and 7. I'm gonna go 6.5 because
Okay.
I think it's about right in the middle. It's not terrible. It's not the most amazing beer I've had, but it's fine. It's totally
Yeah.
fine. Yeah,
It's-
it's adequate.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Roger. I
If
mean,
this-
that's
exactly.
the coolest part is that Roger gave it to us. Awesome.
Yes, it is. Like I said, if this was on tap, I would not be opposed to ordering it.
If somebody offered me this, I would totally drink it.
Or if I was just sitting there and there's this and 5 other things, I might just get this just to have it. It's not something that I'm not going to say, I'm not going to have that ever again.
So,
No.
But it wouldn't be in your beer fridge.
No, I'm not going to go out of my
yeah.
way to keep it on hand.
No, I wouldn't.
There's so many other things better.
Yeah.
That Leo versus Ad versus. So, that's amazing.
But it's
Sounds
not
like the name
bad.
of an
I would
anime.
never say this is bad.
No,
Leo
it's not.
versus.
Not at all.
Let's drink this one.
Yes.
Let's
Turn
keep
into
drinking.
fact. I don't want to drink anymore. I'm almost done though. Ugh. I'll just start on the next thing. So you might
Okay.
have seen in the headlines that it says Sony making games for the Switch. That's kind of a misleading statement because it's the Sony Music. They're now a publisher, and they're making like third-party games. It's not just exclusively
they made their own company.
yeah.
Yeah, which
Which
is
is-
a
Perfect.
it's an
for it.
extension of of the Sony Music Entertainment.
And the thing is that Sony makes like PC exclusive games like under other Sony studios or publishers or whatever.
yeah.
Like it's not the first time it's happened. I think it's just that it's like now it's like they
and
made
before
a big
the
announcement.
PlayStation, Sony made games for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Before PlayStation was around, they would make video games
And
for
then
other
Nintendo
systems.
was like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, PlayStation's gonna suck." Got
No.
'em.
Yeah, if you go back to the roots, there was
The
actually
Super Famicom was supposed to be released with a disc version, and Nintendo partnered with Sony to develop a disc version of the Super Famicom, for Nintendo games. And it was the only reason they were going to that was for the audio quality that the discs provided. Through some weird thing between them, went sour somehow. I don't know what the deal is with it, why it went sour, but it went sour between them. And Sony was left with all this tech that they developed and didn't know what to do with it. They approached Sega, and Sega said, well, you guys, we're not interested. You guys couldn't develop anything, basically. So now Sega's gone and just developing games, and Sony is the number one system out there. Four generations later.
Yeah. So they just said, screw it, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to do all this work we did, which is this weird kind of ironic thing that's happening. But these games, the first game they're going to make is called Tiny Metal, and it will be launched on PC, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on November 21st.
Yeah.
It is not made by Sony Interactive Entertainment, which is PlayStation.
Yes.
So it's not the same company as PlayStation.
Don't
if it
believe
was,
the hype, man.
And they're not going to make a ton of, because there's 4 games.
And they're not the ones
making
making it. They're just a publisher.
Yeah.
So it's giving indie developers a place to publish their stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of their mantra here is, their goal is to bring unique, overlooked indie games to a wider audience.
Yeah.
So they're saying there's a bunch of games out there that are being developed by indie people, and there's no outlet or way to get those out to the public. And so this new company, Unties, I think.
Unities, because it's uniting things.
I think it's Unties.
No, it's Unities.
Did you look it up?
Because it's unifying things.
I thought it was going to be called Unties, like they're snipping the strings to be tied to whatever. Maybe that's I don't know. I tried to look it up too, but I didn't get that far. I did all the rest of this.
Were you drinking the alternative facts?
Yeah.
While writing that?
You might have to look it up now. I don't believe you. But I think there's like 3 or 4 games in development, and this is the only one that is going to go onto the Switch. I don't have an issue with it at all. I think that's great.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think it would be awesome if there was a little bit more like cross-system stuff going on. If it was Sony Interactive Entertainment, the PlayStation company, I would have really big issue with this because they're the ones that are so firm on not allowing crossplay.
Exactly.
Right? So if that was the case, I'd be irritated.
A little side note: it accidentally happened with this game called
I heard about
Fortnite.
that. Yeah.
And it was it was awesome, and then Sony took it down. And Phil Spencer, the Xbox guy, is really going hard. He's like, dude, he's like, Sony, it's fine, just
and that's another game
do it or tell us why.
Yeah,
I can't stand.
Well,
that
you know
game,
why? There's one answer why, and it's clear as day, and it's because they don't need to.
Yeah.
Right? It's the only reason. It's like, what did I say before? It's like asking LeBron to join your weekend basketball team, and in return, you'll go play on his professional team. He doesn't want that. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right? There's no benefit to him. It's the same scenario. That Sony does not care. I think it's crappy, and I wish they would, but they don't care. They have more than double the Xbox systems out there right now. They're the number one system. Why would they give the other company a helping hand? I think that's the only reason.
Oh my god. It's called Unties.
Yes! Learn your shiz, intern. By the way, when I figured that out, I figured out all the rest of this too. I might have misspelled 90% of it, but I did all that too.
All right.
Okay. This. Same color. It's cloudy.
It's got floaties.
It's cloudier. The aroma is amazing. The malt body's there. This one's definitely going to get alcohol-y by the end. I can tell right now.
Yeah, I can already get a little hint.
But
it's sweeter too.
The flavor profiles are on point though.
Yeah.
This is.
I think, and I wonder if it's already a little bit alcohol-y because it's been sitting here. Like if we would have just opened this right away, it might have been a little crisper, fresher.
A little bit, but it's still.
This
is going to have it. I mean, it's 10%. Yeah. You're going to have it. So.
Can I interject with 2 things that I forgot?
No, you cannot have some. You're not old enough.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, a couple things. First of all,
what the heck was
never
that?
Forget Visceral Studios, the makers of Dead Space.
It was cut.
Yeah.
They
and then and the EA's famous line of Dead Space 3 needs to sell 5 million copies. I think in the first couple months, Horizon Zero, or like in the first few months, Horizon Zero Dawn sold 3.33 million. That's a big game, right?
Yeah.
Dead Space 3, after getting less popular over time because it started to become a completely different game from its original, EA they do this all the time with companies, and it sucks. And Visceral was making they had I think the lead, like the director or whatever from Uncharted 4, or like no, the director of like almost all the Uncharted games except for the new one and probably Golden Abyss. But she was working with Visceral to make a Uncharted like Star Wars game, this big single player game.
The game's still getting developed.
But now EA's like, so with a lot of focus testing and watching the trends in common games, we've decided to change it. They're just going to make it a crappy online multiplayer Battlefront field.
Oh, serious?
Clone.
Is that what they're doing?
Yeah.
That's what they mean by I mean, they haven't announced it, but like what they mean by the trends and everything is that they want to milk it for everything, and they shut down Visceral, and it's terrible. And another thing, moving on from that really quick.
Jack's totally over
Yeah,
it,
okay.
by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not. Dead Space 1 was a really good game, and it sucked to see that series just get squeezed by EA. Hate you, EA. You suck poop. The next thing...
been that impressed with most any EA game.
Yeah.
Yeah, me either.
Humble Bundle. I don't know if you guys know about them. It's like on your computer, they'll sell games for really cheap for charity.
Yeah,
So I
I've
bought
seen that.
Game Maker Studio for like $11 when it's normally like $75. So I can make really crappy games. But they have all these great deals, and so Humble Bundle is now a publisher, and that's cool. But what isn't cool is that Humble Bundle was bought by IGN. A games media outlet owns a game publisher.
Yeah.
So
who do you think is going to get top ratings every time?
But like, yeah, exactly. That's really scummy. And also, like, what if Humble Bundle changes? Because I don't know how IGN runs as a company and how greedy they are. But I really hope that the core of Humble Bundle stays the same and they're still very humble.
Well, I know from a lot of the podcasts of people that started out with IGN, they've all since left because it's become as big as it is.
Yeah, well, there's definitely like, I mean, I go to IGN all the time. I look at stuff on there. Go to other gaming stuff, but that's on there.
Those are my sites.
It's a good outlet to stay up to date with nerdy stuff, but anything you click on there has the longest ads.
Oh, I know.
And if halfway through the ad I get disconnected or right after it and I have to reconnect, I have to watch the ad again. That's why you should buy t-shirts. Buy a t-shirt from us so we don't have to put ads in our videos and stuff.
Exactly.
I hate that. It drives me nuts. So.
And get us to the 100 likes.
Right? Do it. Like it.
100,
like it.
10 million subs.
100 subscribers.
Smash that button. Just beat that button down.
Make your grandma do it. Sign her up if she doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, Kip, subscribe. Shout out to Kip.
But, okay, so in a way, if IGN and Humble Bundle are working together, I'm not saying that they will do it this way, but because they're like a media for games and reporting on games, and they have more experience with games than any other company in the world, right? They probably do.
Maybe, Game Informer is around like way longer, I think.
Yeah, but now where they rate now, it's like they're up
IGN's
here,
at
right?
the
They're
top,
like the world kind of standard for video
IGN
game and stuff, right?
first,
They're
yeah.
totally at the top.
They're the
So
IMDb
if they utilize that and they take everything that they reviewed and experienced and implement that into their games, they could make some kick-ass games, and it could be really cool.
And I think Humble
Or
Bundle
they
is
could
publishing
know
indie games.
right exactly what to go to milk us for all it's worth.
So they could
That's
probably...
also true, right?
They
It's
could
like
probably give a lot of attention to like cool indie games that are coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's
We'll see.
weird.
Yeah.
It's a chance to see some true colors maybe from IGN, right? It really is. Like there's an opportunity there for them to do right by all of us that have been with them since forever and appreciated their reviews and everything they've done for games. Don't screw us now, right? From the developer endpoint, like that would be the worst.
We already
Just screw us out of
have
the
the
gate.
EA Visceral. We don't need any more. We don't need any more bad news.
Yeah. So that's kind of our news for this episode.
Yeah. We should
That's
call
some
this like the
intense
extreme news blowout. Like
Blow
that. Just covered too much.
Yeah. So I already said November's crazy. It's awesome nerd
way
month.
crazy.
Super stoked about it.
I'm hyped.
The anime we're watching, Psychopath. I think I'm on like episode 7, something like that. 6.
I'm on episode 7 or 8.
Okay.
I didn't start liking it until episode 5. This was a 5 episodes.
Ooh.
Oh.
Clay.
I like the first one where she's like chasing down the guy. Or she's like on
Okay.
her first day on the job, just to like.
I watched the first 3 episodes myself, and then my roommate wanted to start watching it, so we sat down and started watching it, and so I started over on it again.
Yeah.
And
Oh, so you got a little tired.
after watching the first episode a second time and knowing what's going on and seeing what they're foreshadowing,
Yeah.
it's better.
Oh, yeah, because the
Yeah.
very beginning starts off with that weird scene. You're like, what? And you don't know it's like a... Never mind. I'm not going to...
Yeah, that foreshadows a lot, and they don't even touch that stuff until close to like episode 6 or 7.
Oh, I thought it was way later.
Yeah.
So wait, have you
Well,
met,
no,
have
I
you
mean,
met the main, the white-haired guy yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
And you know what he can do.
not completely yet.
Okay.
So we're getting there.
Yeah,
It's
we're getting
interesting.
there.
It's
One thing I do like about it though is I kind of appreciate the animation in it.
I do like that.
I like that it
It's
really
clearly
blurs
computer
that
animated.
line.
Love the gun.
Right? It really does.
What's
It's
the gun
okay.
called?
Dominator.
Yeah, it's so cool. Or like when they like whip it, when they pull it out, it has like that like really fluid animation, like you just feel the
Yeah.
weight of it.
Well, I'm like okay,
I
so
like how the Dominator though it adjusts what it does for the threat at hand.
Yeah, like
Like-
that's the cool thing about it.
Like
Yeah.
when
It's
he's
like an episode of Black Mirror.
like when he's taken out the. So I've only seen 4 episodes of Black Mirror, so I don't know which one that is. But
Well, I
anyway.
just mean like it
worth
reminds me of
watching.
something like
Yeah.
really strict police state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
well, the weird thing
But
is the gun takes the moral side of it out of it for you. Like it makes the decision
Yeah.
for you.
Oh, yeah.
You just pull the trigger, which is a
And-
weird
and now,
concept.
See, that's what the main person you're following. That's what her dilemma is. That's the whole dilemma is taking the moral side out of it. And
Yeah.
That's what you're following with her.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, they don't care. The Dominator makes the decision for them.
Yeah. If it gives you the green light, they pull the trigger.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that idea in it. That,
Yeah.
in that dilemma that's
Now I'm
going
getting
on.
really excited again.
Yeah.
But
It
no,
is
it's
good.
like when he takes out the robots in the in the factory, and it's like he just holds it there and just.
Yeah, it's a powerful gun. Like,
Yeah.
When it affects you, it does this like Akira blast on you, where it makes your body like bubble up and
Yeah.
expand and
Yeah.
explode, which is cool.
Not all the time though, because that one person they just ended up shooting an
'cause
arm off and
you
they
can
kept running.
stun.
Yeah.
It's like there's all the
Yeah, but
different
that wasn't on
levels.
stun. It was still on the eliminate mode.
Oh.
And the one person got hit in the arm and they bubbled up and
We
blew up.
clearly are enjoying it. Look at
Yeah.
this intensity. I was
I'm-
gonna say,
I need to watch it and we'll get into it.
yeah. As far as like the animation side of it, there's a game that's for Xbox right now, Cuphead, that I'd love to play. I've really heard good things about it. I really like to
I'll
play
have
it.
to tell Eli about it.
But when you look at Cuphead, it's got this very like old school like Mickey Mouse kind of style to it, but it's new and polished, right? So it's really fluid and smooth, but has this like intentionally kind of like grainy effect to it, and like it looks like an old Mickey Mouse or something. And I think Psycho Pass in a way achieves that really well. Like it totally looks like a newer anime, and it definitely has computer effects in it, but it has the appropriate filters over it or something that like pays homage to that old style, and it balances so well on both of those planes that I really appreciated that in it.
It's clearly computer animated, but it doesn't appear computer animated.
Yeah, it's
that
like
makes
they took the little subtleties of a non-computer animated anime and digitally added those in somehow.
Except for it doesn't.
Kind of cool.
Except for you don't have the random movements that digital has, which is one of the things I love about that traditional has.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. But other than that, though, it's still.
Yeah, it's almost like the Last Exile in a way, where it's like
Yeah.
it rides that line, but it does it in such a tasteful way.
Yeah,
right.
because Last Exile is all computer done.
Yeah,
And it's clearly all computer done, but looks so traditional.
yeah, and so I really
Yeah.
appreciate that about it. So I'm actually really stoked to keep watching. It's visually appealing, so it makes it's easy on the eye.
Last Exile, I'm gonna have to go watch that again now.
And the Dominator's a really cool weapon.
It is a cool
They have
weapon.
like
It is.
replicas of it. I might get one.
I just wish I wish it didn't have that weird transform.
It's the coolest part
The way it all
about
flips out and everything.
Dude,
Yeah,
that wastes time.
it's like Megatron.
I mean, if you need to, yeah, it's very true. Except for the person that's holding the Dominator can actually fire it. Megatron can't fire himself.
No, well that's
He
why he
should be
needs
fired.
Starscream.
He never wins.
Yeah, but
They-
Starscream's too self-centered to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
He's not going to use that.
He does
ultimate
use it though.
Yeah, but he's not going to do it in a way that's going to actually benefit anybody unless it benefits him directly.
Yeah, unless everybody's back is against the wall and he needs to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And a side note, how come Megatron has the big old arm cannon that does half the damage of when he transforms into this little mini gun? I don't get that either.
It's concentration of power.
Okay, now it makes sense. Just blew my mind, cleared it
Yes.
up. Thank you.
If you're taking all of that and concentrating in this little itty bit,
Yeah,
you know, like the 1-inch punch thing with a finger versus
yeah.
yeah.
Same exact thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Megatron also studied with Bruce Lee.
Pounds per square inch.
So, before we review the beer, some highlights for next week.
Oh yes.
I know somebody's really excited about. We're gonna skip it though because I don't care. Assassin's Creed comes out, which is Ubisoft, and the only good thing I have to say about Ubisoft is South Park. South Park is an Ubisoft game,
Is
and
it?
it's amazing.
Only good thing. I know,
Yeah.
surprising.
There's no cloud saving. There's no stupid stuff that Ubisoft always does. Like
Log
your-
into you
my
play. You have to
save-
log in every time.
Yeah, my save file is on my system. It's so cool.
Can Cartman throw a parachute at any time and like go around a building though?
No.
Really?
No, he can't.
Weird.
But he does some awesome coon moves. It's a really great game. And then Super Mario Odyssey, which comes out on the Switch. These come out all on Friday, which is always a weird thing.
But
to
you
me.
said there's
That's
already
a Nintendo
Switches showing
thing.
up used in the stores?
Yes, there were when I went up to get my copy of South Park, there was already used Nintendo Switches at the Burlington GameStop, which is
Crazy.
like awesome for people that want to buy it. But I don't know what that says for people for the Switch itself.
Well, the one guy that I keep talking to about wanting to get on the show and talk Switch, his only complaint about it is there's no games for the Switch.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
they do have some pretty big hitters. Or,
yeah. Well, and
a-
this is a big one. Super Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
no, I know, but I'm just saying he's like his big complaint is
Yeah.
like, yeah, well, I've got the one game that I got
the-
that I've been playing.
The
and
guy
that's
at the
it.
GameStop said that most of the time people are saying it's not what they expected it to be, and that they don't like how heavy it is on the handheld side. So, like, that's the dilemma. Again, I think it's the jack of all trades type thing, right? It's not super amazing at one of anything. It's just pretty good at everything.
Yeah.
So you got to decide what you want to do with it. And there's one thing I skipped over, and I know Jack's hating me for it.
Wolfenstein 2. I don't know 2. Wait.
Zwei.
Zwei. Oh, I'm so excited. It's
Eyes
gonna
on
be.
eyes.
It looks like such a
What?
crazy game. It looks like Wolfenstein 1 started off. I mean, it didn't start off small, but it kind of did. But then, like, you go to the moon, you fight giant robots, and in the end, you're fighting like a dude in a mech suit, and everything exploding around
Well,
you.
and it's-
I think 2 starts from there and just goes up. Even
Well, and,
further.
and it's based on the storyline of what if the Nazis would have won.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
But
that's
if
what
they
it is.
also had crazy.
It's the Mecha Hitler.
Yeah.
Well, no, but
so bad.
if you play the first one, it's not just that. It's like they have crazy technology, and everyone else doesn't. And you're like, part of the game is figuring out why they have that.
And you pre-ordered it,
yeah, the collector's edition. So expect to see
but
that.
not on Amazon Prime. I'm gonna have to take a break. Sorry, guys.
All right.
So talk about Wolfenstein. Why is it so cool?
Oh,
I don't know. I never played
I mean,
the
we're
first
running
one.
long.
So.
Okay, I'll talk about Wolfenstein. It's
Right in front of the camera.
it's one of the I don't know, like
I know what it is.
you would expect. So almost any game with Nazis. So Call of Duty World War II is probably going to be like Nazis are bad guys. Well, I mean, they are. You don't need to go in.
Nobody questions
into
that.
depth. Yeah, but Wolfenstein 2 goes further, and it's like these Nazis are, because I mean, you kind of have to elaborate if they have giant robots. It's like what? And so they're like, ugh. The Nazis or the main villains are terrible people. Like you have to choose, and they like kill one of your friends in front of you. You like go to a concentration camp, and you see some like messed up stuff happen, and it's like
This sounds
the
messed up.
villains are crazy,
You go to
and
a
also
concentration camp.
Yeah, no kidding.
it's messed up. But I think
Although that's how Magneto was made.
It's true.
the best part about the game, I think, is in the trailer. You know, when he sits down at the bar and the guy's like, "May I see your identification papers, please?" Right? And it's that scene where you're just kind of sitting there and he's like, kind of asking you questions, and he's like really, he's kind of like, smiling, but you like, it's like really tense because you're not supposed to blow your cover. In the first one, there's a scene on the train where you're doing that, and this lady like puts a gun on the table. She's like, "You can pick up the gun if you want, but you will die." And she's like drilling you with all these cards, like asking if you're Aryan or not, or if you're like, pure blood. And it's just like really weird and really tense. And she's being like really like cheerful, but like it's one of the most terrifying things I've ever played in a game, because you're defenseless.
Jack's excited.
Because
Yeah.
the entire game, you have
Well,
dual
that's-
shotguns, but now you're stripped of everything, and the villain is sitting right there, and they don't know who you are, and the character doesn't say anything. You're just like sitting there, and it's like get your heart racing. It's so good.
Huh.
I'm getting spooked just thinking
I'm
about
gonna say
it.
the what was it? The underwater one. The
Abzu?
first-person shooter.
It's underwater. Oh, BioShock?
Yeah, BioShock. They had a really strong.
With Andrew
Yeah, whatever. But like the story behind it, stuff got you going into
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
hard
yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
You know, they're like,
I think that's a huge element in a FPS, which we're
Yeah.
going to get into. We're going to do a full-on FPS episode on what makes a good FPS.
well, that's what I appreciated about that. And he's talking about Wolfenstein, how you got this going on, and there's a reason to be what you
Yeah.
are. And
Yeah,
that's what I liked about that. So,
You never know.
No, but I'm excited.
I mean, just the intro on
Might have
Bioshock's
to.
pretty
I might have to
fantastic.
dabble a little bit in this game with you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you could borrow my PSN, and then, or we could, I don't know, we'll figure it out.
We'll
Or
talk about it off camera.
Yeah,
We'll figure out a way to
figure it out.
scam the system.
I'm gonna review my drink real quick. It wasn't good. It had this like stingy taste in my throat. I feel gross after drinking it.
I don't
My
know, watch
mouth
you drink,
feels
too.
gross.
Yeah, he's a trooper, man.
Yeah.
He does. He brings 2 balls and shoves them both in his mouth every
Yeah,
time.
every time.
It's I don't know. I
So
really
glad he's
wouldn't
got 2
recommend
more.
it. I don't understand how this company is just
I'm so glad
producing
they're
crap
blue.
like this. Like, who is drinking this? It's awful. It's terrible.
Somebody out there loves it and they hate
It's
you
one
right
of the
now.
best-selling.
Send
drinks
all
out
of
there.
your
gonna give
hate
it-
emails to.
Um,
I'm gonna make an email just
3.
for Jack the intern at Nerdbuzzed.
turdish. That is the score.
Nice.
Or-
Oh,
yeah,
3.
you guys do
Straight
yours.
3.
Yeah.
So this one is definitely different.
It is different.
It's different, but it's almost
already
the 10.
super alcoholic though.
Yeah,
is
I was
very
gonna say it's
10%.
almost the 10% version of what we had.
Oh, it totally is.
Don't you think? Like you can tell it's the same company and they're
They-
using the same ingredients.
The malt flavor is the same. The intensity is way stronger on everything. But the one thing that's stronger that I like is the dry hops. The hops that are in the aromas and in the late flavors and the lingers. Way stronger.
Yeah,
And I really appreciate
the
that.
aftertaste
I like
is
that
better
one.
in this, aside from the alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will give you the alcohol in this one.
Okay,
'Cause
I
the
noticed it a
alcohol
little bit
is
on the other one.
Very percent.
Yeah.
I did not notice it hardly at all on the other one. In this one, I'm noticing it immensely.
Yeah, but again,
It's a
it's
10%
more
beer.
okay when it has the percentage, right? It's like,
Yeah.
it should taste like alcohol because it's got way more alcohol.
Yeah.
It's got, what, 40% more of what that one has there? It's like a lot of it.
Not quite that. Yeah.
Yeah.
30%. But yeah.
Yeah. So,
Get wrecked.
do you need to get out your calculator and check? Do we do
No,
it right?
no, I don't.
No,
It's
you believe me?
32%.
You're not going to argue with me now after
I believe
Untied?
Jeremiah.
32% if you want to be accurate. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, what do we think of it?
I'm actually pretty okay with this beer.
I think because of what it is,
Well,
I'm
it's
okay with it
10%
also.
beer.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to go out of my way for a 10% beer usually, but it's a 10% beer, so I have to take it as that. And it's pretty decent. I think it does a pretty good job. It's pretty well balanced. I'm sitting here talking to you. I haven't had a sip in several minutes, and I'm not sitting here going, "Oh, I need a sip of something."
Yeah. Yeah.
I
know.
am. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I know you are. You're
Also, I think
you're-
it's given me a like I feel really energetic right now.
Did you drink this? No, don't
Loaded
talk
up on the
about it.
Guarana.
Okay.
Go back to the cage.
Right.
So, one thing I really hope that I don't want to mess this up, but I think his name's John, the guy from the Steam Donkey, right?
Okay.
He, when I was talking to him about beers and his brewing process and whatever, he also acknowledged. I was telling him that I'm getting really tired of these big number beers where it tastes really alcoholic, and he was like, "Well, I'm also super sensitive to that, and I try to like put in these appropriate ingredients to balance it and to bring up this other end of the flavor if I need to, or do whatever." And he's like, "Or I just won't make it that potent. Like if that's going to be an issue, then I'll dial that part back, and like I want it to be well rounded and good." And I really, really appreciated that about everything he said. I appreciated, and the beer was.
I've
good.
only had one Steam Donkey beer before, and I don't remember.
Don't
much
remember if
about
you
it at
liked
all.
or didn't like it.
Exactly. I don't remember it at all. I know I've had one. I just can't really think of what it was.
I thought the one that he had there was really good. As far as just meeting him, it was super cool to talk to him. Really nice guy, really approachable, and we had a lot of similar things to say about beers that we liked, right?
Nice.
Versus what we don't like. And I was saying balance. Balance is what I really, really appreciate in a beer. It's
Yeah.
like don't put something in there that doesn't need to be there, and don't put something in there to just mask something that shouldn't be in there, right? Like
Yeah.
don't do either of those things.
Which is what I think a lot of these citrus beers are getting.
Yeah, I think it's too much of stuff here
Mm-hmm.
and there, and he was totally on board with that. So I'm hoping we'll get a growler from him. This this company, I almost think could take a lesson from that. I think there's some
This company is a 4-year-old company,
and maybe they'll learn that though.
and I believe they came from home brewers. And this tastes like a company that came from home brewers and is still 4 years into it.
Yeah.
It's on a level that is probably more consistent. I've not tasted them more the times than now
Yeah.
than a home brewer, but most of your home brews, they have ups and downs within each batch. Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure that they've gotten it down to a point where each batch is coming out the same, and that is step number one to brewing, is just repeating what you do.
For sure.
And just based on the fact that we went from this one to this one, and they both have such similar characteristics and similar things, I'm pretty sure that what they're doing is every time this one comes out, that one's going to come out the same way every time.
Yeah, well, there's definitely a consistency in ingredients going on and in method of making these beers. That's clear as day.
But what I'm saying is like I said, this opposable, let's say 6.8%, whatever. Every time they make that one, I'm pretty sure it comes out darn close to the one that was there before.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like almost imperceptible, which is what you want as a production brewery. That's step
Especially
one.
as a microbrewery, right?
Exactly.
Like, yeah, you're
And
making small batches. Which
that's
the
the
smaller
hardest...
the batch, the harder it is to make them.
Exactly.
Totally.
The hardest thing to do is get repeatability.
Yeah.
And that's step number one. Once they get that down, which I'm pretty sure they're getting that down, I mean, just based on the difference here. And if you look at their website has like, I think they've got 4 or 5. I got 5 different year-round taps. They have what they call their Snapchat series, and I want to say there was like 12 Snapchat different styles in there. Then they have their seasonal series.
Are those like the ones they're playing with the formula?
Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have their Snapchat series, and they had their seasonal series, which is, I'm assuming they're bringing them back every season. And I want to say there's 8 or 9 in there. I mean, that's a lot of different beers to be making.
Yeah, it is.
And it's only a group of 4 people.
Yeah.
And of those 5 or 4 people, probably only 3 of them are actually brewing.
Yeah, I don't want to come across as sounding like I don't like the beer, because I do. It's completely good beer, totally adequate. I think it needs a little bit of adjusting of the dials a little bit in there.
I think it's polish. I think they have it.
I think it's pretty good.
They've got the base. They've got what they need. As long as they're getting repeatability, they can just adjust as needed.
Yeah.
Fine tune.
Well, unfortunately, as reviewing it, we're in the hot seat of pointing out what's wrong with it.
I
right?
know. That is the one thing when you first said that we needed to start putting scores on things. When we first started doing this, I was like, I don't want to, because I don't want to put scores on things.
Yeah, well, and I don't want to
Because
just
it
point out the
immediately-
flaws and everything, because
Exactly.
that's kind of what you have to do, right?
Exactly.
But again, I think both of these, the positives outweigh the negatives,
Yes.
for sure. Kudos to them for making good beer. I do think they're both really good beer. I would drink. We already said about the first one. We would totally drink it. We would not dismiss it if it was offered to us. I would not do that with this next one.
No. And as far as the next one, 10%, I'm way on board with it. For what it is.
Oh yeah,
lot
for
of
10
percent.
for 10%, it's more, to me. It's more dialed in than the
Yes.
first one we had.
Which is weird.
And this is
It is kinda weird.
And this one's a seasonal.
Yeah. So no, I would totally. I'd be curious. Like maybe next year we should try their beer again and see if there's a little bit of refinement and whatever in there that's been kind of going on over the next couple years.
Well, unfortunately, it's only gonna be a couple months before I go back down to Arizona again. So.
Well, okay. So get the next batch.
Yeah.
Bring us back beer, Jay.
I will. I plan on making it.
So what do you want to put on this? Should I go first? I already got
Go
a
ahead.
number. I'm gonna give this one the full on 7, and
That's
I'm gonna
exactly
say
what I
it's
was gonna
good. Again, because it's the 10%, and I think it warrants any of those other flavors I'm picking up that I kind of disagreed with on the other one. Yeah. So
Exactly.
it's really similar though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna do a straight 7 anyway myself.
Awesome.
So. There we go. Hey, that was a good one this time.
That was a good one.
corner for me.
Watch the trick I hear is watch the elbow, not the hand.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody told me that, and I said just be good at it. How about that?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to watch Top Gun again.
Because you get 2 for every one on that
That's
one.
right. So let's do one last time.
All right.
Oh wait, did you give a number for your balls?
Yeah, 3.
A 3?
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah, that's
remember
right.
that?
That's right. He did. We talked about his balls first.
Turd-ish.
Yeah.
You
So
sure it's not a 2? Straight turd?
I don't know. Everyone gets worse. I think the next one will be a turd.
All right. That's
So,
the only one I ever actually drank.
to all the nerds,
Through all the fuzz.
bottoms up.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Talking about beer.
Talking about nerd culture.
Did you explode us too? Did you explode?
Marcus and Jeremiah.
Volume.
You're on
Can we turn, is there a dial
Nerdbuzzed.
on him? Can we turn him down? Unfortunately, I don't think there is.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.
Let's get Nerdbuzzed.